If you asked a random baseball fan to guess which catcher had the most home runs, who do you think they would say? Will Smith, Salvador Perez, Wilson Contreras maybe? Those answers would all be wrong. The catcher with the most home runs is also one of the best defensive catchers in baseball too. His name, the one and only Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh was drafted in the third round of the 2018 MLB draft out of Florida State University. MLB.com wrote about him and said the following: Raleigh's defensive game, however, has not taken the same step forward this year. Not overly athletic, he hasn't been very agile behind the plate, and his blocking and receiving have been inconsistent, as has been his arm. College catching is always hard to find, and Raleigh has done it for 3 years at Florida State. Teams will be buying the bat here, with the hope that he'll defend just well enough to stick there as an offensive-minded catcher. Cal Raleigh never appeared on any of MLB Pipeline's top 100 prospect lists, and he never had a spot on their top 10 catching prospects list either, even while putting up comparable or better stats. He was most certainly an overlooked and undervalued prospect to the national media. Cal first showed his tremendous power as he went on a home run tear in his stint in High A. Overall there, he had 22 home runs in 82 games, hitting .261 with an .872 OPS. By age 22, he had already made it to Double A. Then the COVID season happened and he missed an entire year in the minors. He returned in 2021 and mashed in AAA, eventually earning a call-up to Seattle. Cal's first year in the bigs was a struggle at the plate. In 47 games, he had only 180 with a .532 OPS, only 2 home runs, and he struck out 35.1% of the time. Defensively, however, he accumulated a 5.6 defensive value per Fangraphs, which allowed him to have a positive 0.1 F4 even with the massive struggles on the offensive side. Raleigh came into the 2022 season as part of a 3-man catching group, but was soon demoted in late April as his hitting continued to be subpar. A couple weeks later, Tom Murphy was injured and Cal Raleigh got the call. The offensive struggles continued until a game on May 15th against the Mets, which seemed to jumpstart his power. He had an enormous clutch home run that surprised everyone. Cal had worked on some adjustments like choking up on the bat and minimizing the leg kick, and maybe this was when it all clicked. In his next 19 games, Cal hit .219 with an .813 OPS and 6 home runs. In the entire month of June, he hit .250 with a .924 OPS, 6 home runs, and a measly 23.9% K rate. From the Mets game to when I am recording this, he has an overall .224 with an .811 OPS, 21 home runs, and a 27.5% K rate. And for the entire season, he has hit .208 with a .765 OPS and 22 home runs. Cal's offensive improvement has been an exciting journey, but his defense has always been there in the major leagues. Remember how MLB.com said that teams will be buying the bat with the hope that he'll defend just well enough to stick there as an offensive-minded catcher? Well, Cal Raleigh is third in defensive value of all catchers according to Fangraphs. He doesn't have a bad arm either, throwing out 34% of runners trying to steal. Cal Raleigh is one of the most complete catchers in the game, yet most people outside of Mariners fans don't know who he is. He does it with the bat, glove, and arm, and has been praised for his leadership and game calling. If a player as great as Cal can be this far out of the spotlight of national media, it makes me wonder how many other great players there are that don't get the recognition they deserve.